Fabio, a crucial victory for you, once again with the black pieces. We were just discussing that you've played Hans only with the black pieces and you actually have a score of 4-0. Yasser aptly called it black magic. Do you feel like that? Give us your perspective.
Yeah, I have a very good score against him, but I didn't feel totally confident before the game today. I thought it's still going to be a very tough game. It's clear that Hans more or less had to win the game to fight for first place. I don't think that a draw would have given him many chances. And so I really expected a tough fight. Also, it's after a rest day, so he definitely could prepare something. So I wasn't entirely at ease, let's say. Mm-hmm. And the game, of course, I can't say it was a very good game. I mean, I feel like I mostly benefited because Hans was not in good shape today, and he played probably not very well, and gave me chances that I really shouldn't have had.
Give us your critical moments. Where did you feel like things are murky, and when did you feel like you're finally taking over the initiative?
Yeah, I think the opening was very interesting. I played an idea which someone played against me, so I didn't really know much about it, but I just remembered that Hushin Beth played it against me in a rapid game quite recently. This ED4, which is probably it was a novelty when he played it against me. I mean, black can also play C6 or something. This is a very direct path. And yeah, after, something like C6 is possible, or Queen C8, there's definitely a variety of moves. So I didn't know much about this ED4, but I remembered that I didn't really get a good position after it with the white pieces, so I decided to play it. And E5 kind of surprised me. I actually expected this Queen F3, D4, Knight E4. Queen H4, this is the move, yeah. F6 is a bad move.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that, and here I thought I could play Queen D4. I thought, I wasn't 100% sure.
Yes. That's what we were expecting.
Bishop C7.
More or less.
Yeah, here I guess I'm a tiny bit worse, but more or less within equality. Yeah, E5, I mean, why did I play this F6? It's a very bad move. After I played it, I regretted it. It was kind of a lazy move. Because I was considering Queen G5, and that move didn't look super promising after Bishop C2. So I kind of didn't look any further. Sorry, I'm just...
oh, no worries. Take your time. Yes.
So working with this thing.
Queen to G5, you spotted that, but you weren't very happy with Bishop to C2. You decided to go F6. And then he blitzed out this sequence of moves, take, and Knight to H5. Were you surprised by this? Did you see it from afar? How did you assess this position?
Yeah, I thought that... I thought I'm slightly worse, but I thought it's more or less okay after F5. I mean, because I'm probably getting C5 by force, or I'm getting F4. So, of course, F4 is very logical that he played Queen E7. I didn't think that he could play Rook C1, because Queen B4, how does he continue here?
Queen D1?
Queen D1, B5, can I play?
Yes, B5. Wow. Okay, Rook C6 seems to be
Rook C6, yeah, I think I actually saw this move, but I thought something was working here, but I guess not. Yeah, then Rook C1, of course, he kills my counterplay. Then in that case, A3 was a mistake.
Right.
Because after I get C5, it's not so bad anymore. Rook C1, I was very happy that he gave me C4 as well.
And then he opened up things on the other side. Once he started arranging his pieces to stop your counterplay via B5, then he opened with G5. Very, very aggressive way of handling the position. Are you okay with the earpiece?
Not working out too well today. It's okay. We'll manage.
It's the bane of the commentators as well. I mean, welcome to our world, Fabi.
We'll get through.
Well, the issue is really not the earpiece. It's the glasses. It's I think it's just one of those days, you know.
Sometimes, of those days. Yes.
You get luck in one area and then it doesn't work out in another area.
All right, let's discuss the last final stretch of this game. G5, B3, and things get very, very complicated. But once you play this move, Rook to G8, we start realizing the fact that it is your attack that's coming first. Did you realize the same thing over the board?
Yeah, I already thought that I'm much better here. And I was also not sure if maybe Queen A3 instead of Rook G8 was... deciding between different options. Queen a3, yeah, I thought that maybe queen f3 here, or he somehow gets control of the f3 square, and then things, maybe rook f1. I wasn't sure, but then rook g8, okay, really looked very tempting. I thought rook c3 is kind of forced. I thought if he plays like c5, rook g3, I just start crashing through.
Yes.
And yeah, once my rook is on g3, just attack is unstoppable. So he has to play rook c, or I thought he has to play rook c3. I take on c4 everything. It's of course very concrete, and then I couldn't decide at this moment after rook c2, which is again forced to stop the threat of rook g2. Yeah, queen h3 is of course the first move that I considered, is what I wanted to play, and then after queen h3, rook f2, I didn't see. What I was looking at is rook g3 here. I thought, first rook g3 was my intention. I mean, rook g2 I see as, and then I saw this suddenly, this e6, rook g8 and queen e2, and I couldn't believe it. And then rook e3 and queen d2. And I was like, what do I do here? It looks like I should have something, but then I realized that it's actually very double-edged because he plays d5 and okay, he has
Connects
two connected
his
pass
pawns. Things are getting a little bit dangerous for you.
I see, yeah.
And this rook takes g2 move, I thought that the rook endgame was unclear. But I was maybe a little bit rushing my decision because...
After queen to d2, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was difficult to calculate, and and he starts pushing his pawns. I don't know if king g2 or d5, maybe d5 first. I just wasn't sure. And f3 I also thought was much better for me, and okay, now I see that, of course, f3 is a huge blunder.
I wouldn't say a huge blunder. From my perspective, it was also kind of the practical way out, just because you're exchanging a lot of pieces and you're getting closer to something more simplified.
Yeah, but it does blow the wind. I mean, once I played f3, I started to realize that queen a1 is very unclear, because my first intention after queen a1 was to play queen d3 and then queen d1. And yeah, then I realized I probably have to play a rook endgame anyway, because I'm not really escaping with my... I was thinking maybe queen b3 here is very interesting, because queen b2, I thought, and queen d5, and it's some sort of... I couldn't figure out this mess. E6, E6, rook g2, fg2, probably also a draw. So I thought queen a1 would be a very decent practical chance, and I thought other moves were losing after f3, so now I see that rook f2 is a draw, of course. What I thought after rook f2 that I simply take rook g2, fg2.
I'm not sure if it's a draw, by the way. Don't worry about this engine. The engine is not that strong. Like, you have queen d2, but...
It's stronger than me, Christian.
Probably. Yes.
No, I just thought this was winning. I didn't see queen d2, queen h3, queen g5. Like, I didn't see that the square is both defending and threatening the perpetual. Yeah. Okay, the good news is I always have a draw, like rook g8, he has to force a draw. But to win this is probably... Like, I probably would play rook g8 at this moment. I don't think I would get the courage to play queen g4 here. Yeah. But of course, e6 is shocking. No matter what he chooses, maybe rook f2, maybe queen a1, but e6 is just resigns. I didn't understand his idea. I guess it was just like panic or something. Because this, of course, I can probably win this in a variety of ways, because he actually doesn't have threats here. I mean, e7 is always met with rook e8, so I thought, yeah, maybe I have other ways to win, maybe rook e8, maybe some h-pawn move, but I guess what I did was also pretty clear-cut.
Yeah. Well, an important victory for you. You're eliminating one of the contenders, but you still have a couple of them behind you. Lanier is one of them. He just won his game, and Wesley seems to be primed to win his game as well. How do you see the last couple of rounds playing out?
I still think it'll be very tough. Some players are starting to get some momentum. I'm actually surprised that Wesley is winning. I thought his position was pretty dangerous looking. But of course, it was so double-edged that anything could happen. But that's an important win for him. Lanier, I did have a feeling that he would be a heavy favorite to win today, because Andrew is a good player, but he doesn't have good openings. And Lanier is one of the best prepared players, so it's very difficult to get a good position against him. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that some people are starting to try to catch up. And also, I play Wesley in the last round with black. I play Mishra, who is also doing very well tomorrow. So it's I don't imagine it will be an easy finish.
Definitely a tense one to be followed. Guys, any questions?
Our congratulations.
I
and
actually do
please.
have a question. Fabi, I know we had a rest day yesterday, but still, it's been 9 rounds already. How are your energy levels going to the last 2 rounds?
More or less okay. A little bit more tired than I was at the start, of course. But and it is like 9 rounds is usually a full tournament, so it's quite a long event. But compared to let's say some other events, it's a relatively relaxed schedule. Let's say the candidates or the World Cup. These events really are much more draining. So I think everyone's getting a bit tired, but probably not overly so. And we do have 2 rest days in this event, so also some time to rest. And I would say not too tired at the moment.
Okay, that's good. Good luck in the rest of your tournament.